We talked about systems thinking in the last lesson, and in this we bring more light to the different perspectives that we can adopt, that we can use to look at this whole system that we've been talking about. I have two wonderful stories that bring forward two different perspectives of who we are as a human race. So the first one is, and you might have heard about it, how there are billions of galaxies in this universe, and our galaxy is part of one of these galaxies, these billions of galaxies. And then we are a part of a solar system, which is a tiny part of the galaxy that we are part of. So just the solar system alone is a part of this huge galaxy, which is one of the billions of galaxies in the universe. And then in this solar system are different planets, and one of the planets in the solar system is Earth, and we are the inhabitants of this Earth. Now when we talk about Earth, there are billions of life forms that exist on this Earth. There are all these different kinds of animals, the vertebrates, invertebrates, and then there are the fish and the mammals and the reptiles, and of course all the different kind of trees and plants and bushes and vines and grass and the little plants and big plants. And of course then there are close to 7 billion human beings. So of all these billions of species and billions of beings in each of these species, we are just one. So if someone says we are akin to a grain of sand on a beach, well, they wouldn't be too far wrong. We are quite small when you look at the whole galaxy in its vastness. That's a perspective we can look at. And the other story is about a little figurine atop a ball. So if I was to give you a ball and I would say, take this figurine, put it on the ball and throw the ball across the room in a way that the figurine does not fall. You would look at me and say, okay, so how do I stick the figurine to the ball? And I say, no. You don't stick, you just put it and you throw. And then I say, you know what, let's take it one level up. Put the figurine on the ball and throw the ball in a curve so that it comes back to you. And you would say, you must be crazy to even think that's possible. What you are asking defies all laws of nature. And indeed it does. It's not possible. It would be ridiculous for me to even ask you that. And yet, if you think of us, we are doing exactly that. We are freestanding, rather free-moving entities perched on a blue ball, hurtling through space, rotating, revolving on an axis, the invisible axis. It's not defined. We give it shape. The science has given it shape. We are hurtling across space at a speed of 40 miles per second. Ridiculous? But true. So there is this wide range of perspectives from we are nothing, so we are this magical empowered beings who defy the law of gravitation, who defy the law of nature. And then a scientific perspective would be, that's just science, that's just the Earth's gravity. And that would be true too. So depending on the lens one uses to look at, any perspective might be true. When you look at an elephant, you might have heard the story of the blind people and the elephant, that they go around an elephant and they feel different parts of it, and when they come back they talk to each other. Each one has a different opinion about what an elephant feels like, and they're all true. And it needs someone who has the larger view to put together all these views to get a picture of what an elephant is truly like, the whole elephant truly like. So looking at multiple perspectives is about our ability to see that which is visible and that which is not visible. So if I were to show you this paper and ask you, what do you see? You would say a circle, a figure, a man, a cup, tea or coffee, maybe a ball. And then if I ask you to look further, what else? Some of you might say ink, and some of you might say paper. And all those are still visible. What's not visible is the thought that has gone into creating the paper. The idea that it is possible to script one's thoughts so that they may be read in places where one is not present. And the idea to take some material, whether it was cloth or paper, and to create calligraphy, to take a stem and a writing instrument, and then maybe take some code, and the decades of refinement that's gone into what's today a piece of paper and a pen, and it takes me less than a moment to scribble something on that paper. And today when I have a thought, it takes me just a moment to pick up a pen and a paper and scribble something and express what's in my mind and in my heart. So the question that is there is, how do we develop the ability to see multiple perspectives? So imagine there's a tower and there are windows all around the tower. Any floor that you would climb and go to a different facet, north, south, east, west, you would see a different view. And it's only when you're able to get to the top of the tower that you are able to get an all-around view. And what we are able to see, so when we see the whole view, we are able to get a sense of what we were not seeing before. Our blind spots get revealed. And getting to this top is what consciousness helps us to do. Ronald Heifetz from Harvard talks about a concept of balcony and dance. That as leaders, as adaptive leaders, we need to have the ability to both be in the moment, in tune with what's happening around us in our context, and have the ability to be a witness. Atop the balcony in our own heads, we are witnessing in the moment our own actions. We'll talk more about how we bring together this systemic perspective and the multiple perspectives that we are able to see. How do we organize them in our thinking? How do we create an order in our thinking and get a sense of at which level do we intervene to solve the problem in a creative, sustainable way. So for now, as you go forward in this week, be curious, be reflective on what's happening around you. When you come into a situation, take a look at the situation and see, what are you not seeing? What might be the perspectives that you are missing upon? I find this ability to hold multiple perspectives very useful in a conflict. When I come in a conflict, I'm seeing things only from my perspectives. When I open my mind and my heart and place myself into the shoes of other people, and we'll talk about that as we go into listening, different levels of listening. So when I'm able to place myself into the shoes of others in that conflict with me, I find empathy in my heart, and that empathy creates a space for collective resolution. So be curious as you go forward. Where are more perspectives you can bring to attention in your own personal and professional lives?